Hello and welcome, Taurus, to your August messages. So August, the theme is what positive changes are happening in your experience and the blessings that are flowing in for the month of August. So keep in mind, these are collective in general. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome. Remember that you're a conscious creator and you shift and change your timeline with your free will choice. And now more than ever before, it is essential that we are sovereign beings here on this planet. So let's get into it. Okay, Taurus. Wow. So the quantum shift we have is around people, specifically family members. Okay. So this could be a quantum shift around your siblings. This could be around your children if you have children, your inner child, your family members. Okay. Any sort of family members or even friends that you consider family. Some of you, it could be a shift where you're going to have an addition to your family, right? That you're going to be welcoming in a new family member into your experience, whether that is an animal or a baby, right? That's something else that is coming through here. But this is kind of what is around the blessings. You know, for some of you too, it could be that there is this inner child healing happening perhaps with a family member or somebody close to you. But this is something that has needed to shift. This is something that was really important for you here, Taurus, okay? And I do have to say, in all, it cracks me up every single time. Before I do a Taurus reading, I get the munchies and I have to have a little snack. So I had to have some goat cheese and crackers before your reading, which was just, it cracked me up. But anyways, if you're hungry, get a little snack. So moving forward, we have you in this sense of a strong, empowered presence. You feel like the universe has your back. You know that our changes that are happening. Some of you, these changes are happening around autumn, okay? The season of autumn here with that strength card. We also have the 9 of Pentacles. So this speaks about your own personal strengths, to speak about your own personal successes. Even if you're married or in a relationship, you are very much independent and successful on your own, and to really kind of appreciate that. But you're also appreciating how independent you have been has brought you quite a bit of strength in your experience here. And you are focused on your strengths in August. Now it gets interesting because you have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, which is one that we want to see in reverse. The 5 of Pentacles upright is a scarcity mindset. It can also represent, you know, our health not doing so well, but now it's in reverse. So that means that when it comes to finances, some sort of opportunity or your vitality, there's a shift and change with the 9 of Cups energy here, okay? So there is wish fulfillment. Again, it's very personal to you with the 9s. It's not the 10s, which does involve your family. So for some of you, this could be a shift happening with a family member as well that frees up your time and energy or your finances. But there is a wish fulfillment where something that was maybe on hold has now shifted and changed. Some of you might be shifting into an abundance mindset, which is helping things move forward with the Chariot. You have many messages of balance. Some of you might have been overgiving or overly focusing on one area of your life, and you're called to bring things back into balance, or that is a blessing or change that's happening for you in order to have that forward momentum, right? If you are on a bike and you're out of balance, you don't go anywhere, right? And so you're finding that balance between your head and your heart, your soul and your ego. You're finding that balance and things are moving forward here. Some of you may have been saving up to go on some sort of holiday, for a vehicle, something that with this King of Cups energy, something that you've really has been a bit of a dream for you, okay? So it could have to do with travel, could have to do with your dream vehicle, could have to do with just forward momentum happening in your experience here, but your heart space is opening up more. There are these beautiful shifts and changes out of scarcity and into abundance. And again, this wish fulfillment for you is so personal just to you, okay? Not to say it won't benefit others, but it's about you. It's about you in August here, Taurus. We do have the coffee energy anxiety. My worries are getting the best of me. So maybe you're having a bit too much caffeine. If you're noticing you're really anxious, maybe try an alternative to coffee, okay? But I feel like there are definitely some situations, especially in the physical, okay, in the material world, that are shifting and changing here for you. And I'm sensing something that was on hold, whether it was a career advancement, whether it was a lump sum, something like that is wanting to come forward here in this wish fulfillment for you. So you might have some anxiety, so find ways to work with that. Be aware of what's causing that anxiety, how to, regulate your nervous system. Be aware of, again, anything that's sabotaging you kind of being in balance, because it feels like you're bringing things back into balance here. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. You're back in your power. Okay, you're back in your power here. You're magnetic, you're magical, you're feeling much better. So it does feel like there is this blessing coming forward. Some of you, it might even be assistance from some sort of community, right? Some sort of community or a family member. But I'm definitely seeing with the Five of Coins in reverse, there was a sense of lack in your experience. There was scarcity. There was something being withheld. And now that is opening up here. That doorway is opening up for you, okay, in August. I also see with the King of Cups and the Chariot, you moving forward with your heart space open, which has a lot to do with receiving our blessings. When our heart space is closed off, we can close off blessings, right? Or we can delay them. But your heart space is opening here. And when it comes to like love and relationships, it does seem that someone is opening up their heart more to you than before. This anxious energy could also be connected to a partner if you are connected with someone at this time. But the King of Cups is intuitive, is loving, is sensitive, okay, is emotionally aware and emotionally mature. So some of you, it might have been that you were waiting for someone to show up who had those qualities, and that person is coming into your experience in August. That could be for some of you, right? But some of you might have been, again, overly focused on the material or overly focused on what you don't have, and you're creating that change. But the biggest change that's happening in your experience here, Taurus, is balance. Things are balancing out here. And I get like kind of on the outside of the energy, there's definitely something happening around your family. I think I might actually read this message here for you from the Quantum Oracle, because I feel like it has some juicy bits that are important for you. All right, let's see. So it's people, family. Okay. This card shows a baby in a bassinet and children playing and having fun. The joy of childhood presence will be increasing in your life, perhaps in the form of spending more time with the children of family or friends, or a brand new addition might soon be welcomed into your own family. This card could also predict a new partner who brings a child with them, so that you have two new relationships entering your life at once. Feelings of spontaneity and playfulness are also blossoming in your heart. Listen to the voice of the child within. Let yourself be open to all the ways you can have fun in your life, such as simple moments of enjoyment, fond memories that make you laugh, or spending time with the people that make you happy. Be playful and let your own inner child come out. It's one of the best things you can do to connect with universal joy. So I would say that is a blessing, connecting it with universal joy, which unlocks the abundance and the flow and the appreciation for what you have and the opportunities. So you are certainly unlocking that here in the month of August, Taurus. We also have, and this is quite fascinating, okay? Now this is from the Golden Future Oracle deck, and if anyone can do this, let me know in the comments. I do dream about doing this sometimes, but the message of like how you can help the world at this time is we have teleportation and levitation. Expand your gifts and powers. Now, I'm not expecting any of you to start teleporting anytime soon, but perhaps you're ready to go for the next level in your spiritual gifts and powers. I have dreams that I'm levitating all the time, but I think it certainly has to do with Ascension, right? And the fact that we can, astral travel, our souls can travel. So some of you might be exploring that more, and there may be ways that you can assist the world in that way by sharing your spiritual gifts, your visions. So, I feel like that's something else that could be taking you to the next level here, Taurus, in the month of August. So many of you that, you could be mediums, you could be psychics, you could be healers, you could be animal communicators, expand into and get really comfortable in those gifts and those abilities, because I feel like the universe is going to be bringing you in opportunities to share your gifts with the world, okay, and to be able to benefit the world here. But that's quite advanced and exciting here for you, Taurus, right? Expanding in your gifts and your powers. And again, we had the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is that energy of being magical and magnetic and feeling good, right? Some of you could have been coming out of some sort of period of exhaustion or frustration, and there are these blessings that are starting to flow for you, and you're going to be unlocking these new gifts and abilities. And sometimes we're put into kind of a pattern of stagnation or a pattern of pause, because we are preparing energetically and sometimes emotionally and spiritually. Like some of you, especially if you're going to be inviting in a family member into your experience or starting a family, there is this period beforehand of preparing energetically, preparing mentally, preparing physically, preparing spiritually, and emotionally. And so that's something else that's kind of, some of you may have been asking, if you were in a holding pattern, why. And yes, there could be some things that had to do with timing or had to do with your consciousness and like your own thought forms around abundance and everything like that. But it could also been, it was preparing you for this new launch, this new beginning with the Chariot, and you pursuing or attracting in someone or something that really opens up your heart space and this next level in your spiritual gifts and abilities. So it's pretty extraordinary what's happening here for you. You're becoming quite empowered. There's a lot of shifts that are happening. And when you do live in the frequency of joy, a lot of miracles can unfold. So absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining me here, Taurus. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.